야, 드니 대랑 아촌다나 용근 참마라 슈조 데라칸 참주지인.
Good afternoon or good evening to everyone who's gathered here tonight.
드니 대랑 아촌다니 UC Berkeley가 드니 로다 침보 나라 용네 미망본 드니 망보다 냠더 갑다시야 드니 골급숑라 배 가보숑송.
I'm so happy to have this opportunity tonight to come to the University of Berkeley and have this chance to engage in dialogue with so many of you.
드니 대랑 아초 갑다시야 드니 조샤 드니 갑샹데 드니 세쪽 런탕 제야 드니즈레.
And the topic for tonight's talk is the value of a life.
드니 당봉 아초 세쪽 제야 되당 드니 런탕 제야 되 돈당니 토라 삼로 당공도.
So in thinking about this topic, it's necessary that we address two words. Firstly, value, and secondly, life.
드니 아초 낭추고 나라샤 비 세쪽 대당 드니 아초 띵우르 바 차르 바샤 비 세쪽 제야 드니라 대전 자우 말이.
So in terms of how we define a life, there are some dissimilarities between the way Buddhism defines life and biology in modern science does.
드니 띵우르 바가나라 아초 베나 메나레 던조에나레 드니思想에나레 데서 참말라 드니 세쪽 제가 요레 드니 코란 거 고와 디토니샤나 데서 참마 세쪽 제나 초거레.
In biology, humans, animals, and even plants are all considered forms of life. So this definition, biological definition, is fine for biologists to use.
드니 아초 낭슈 나라 드니 세쪽 제야 데 간디즈라 제거레즈나 모다 던조다 든지 아초라 데와 땅 등물 거 초로와 용칸 드니 삼로 땅 신칸 든지 zgla 드니 세쪽 제거레.
However, in Buddhism, we define life as human or animal in nature, essentially those beings that are capable of feeling happiness or sadness, capable of thinking. This is how we define life.
든지 드니 아초 思想的데솔라 다 자다想的메도다 데솔라 세쪽 제거 말레.
So with this definition, we don't define plants, trees, and flowers, grass, etc. as constituting life. So this is a difference in the way that biology and Buddhism understands life. However, this is not a contradiction. So what I would like to talk about today is life in terms of human life and animal life. And then we need to look at what we mean by value in relation to life. In the world, that which is the most valuable or the most priceless would have to be life. Even though life is something that is not able to be given a value, nevertheless, we do give a value to things like fish and insects, birds, etc., how much it would cost if we needed to buy them or if we wanted to eat them. However, this valuation is one that is imposed by others on these life forms. So even though this evaluation is done by someone else imposing a value externally onto these lifetimes, from the point of view of the life in question, this isn't a reflection of their value at all.
Tani nya chong tani raboda sha chong tani rabozla nga so mi jambas chikateni ta samlo tangna te tondak chimboz mare samne te gormo nga tani ga tani ta rentang tani re samne nga so tani sam gre se jambas ka samna reda khorang rang ka samlo tangna tani khorang ga chechok te la rentang samne me pa rentang janga jab ma tha ba tani re.
So even though someone looking on a small fish or a small bird might not think it was worth very much, someone might look at such an animal and give it a value of $3 or $5, from the point of view of the animal or the life in question, their own life is something that is priceless in nature.
Tani nga so jamba chikateni chechok jamba chikla teni chorang rengong de chorang chechok rengong de ndri rezene kong teni jawyate te nga so norwares.
So one form of life imposing a value on the life of another life form is a great mistake.
Pena pe jana tera nga so mi nga so tawala sanlo tana pena nyama chila nga so karma jang ke thone yongken ke mochi yone teni nga so sama nyam de zone o min de so che chokla ta gormo kaje rezene tindi kongchi shina tindi rengong tindi jabna te nga so tsawane khelenga mares.
So we could say, let's imagine that Martians, aliens from another planet, suddenly arrived on Earth amongst us and started to say how much our human lives were worth. That is, they imposed a valuation on our lives. This is something that we would not accept in any way.
Tani ngarang cho susu samlo tana ngarang cho chechok te tani rengong changa jam matha pi tani rengong tani yin samne nga cho sam ge yores.
So from our own perspective, looking at our own lives, they are something that are not able to be given a valuation. They are priceless in nature.
Tani nga cho da chingparese pe na nya chung sha chung bu chung tani zi na chama ga tani khorang rang samlo tana ngarang ge chechok te tani zambolang ge tani longshu gang le jang ngupo gang le jang ngarang ge chechok te tani jiba da marwa da tani rengong jam matha ba tani re samne chama ga tani sam ge yores.
And it's not just ourselves who think in this way. Any kind of life form, from a small bird, a small fish, or a small insect, from their own perspective, their life is something that is the most valuable out of any object in the world. It's valuable, it's precious, it's cherished.
Tani ngachu tani chechok jamba chola tani rengong jamne gomo ngayen gomo chin zeatila tani niluk chawane yomares niluk yomares te gimsen chawane yomares.
So to impose a value on another life form, to say it's worth, say, $5 or $10, is something that is completely without reason. It is without logic.
Gimsen chipo de gangrezena wangcha reze wangcha la teni shege yore mato jamba wangcha chipo mato ba jamba ga niluk chawane de yomares.
The only reason that we are able to do so is due to power. Aside from power, there is absolutely no other reason justifying this action.
Tani nga cho wangcha de tani kali tani niluk rin ro yores.
And this power, however, is increasingly becoming rationalized, made more reasonable.
Garti nga cho wangcha de tani niluk re sona tani nga cho ta tarta nga cho simjin cho dro go tani chechok la rentang jab ge yore rete nyima chigla nga cho mi ru ge tani mo cho panchang chigla mur mi tani mo te garwo ta nakbo da sero yin nanja 양난 잠볼랑 그 머르근 자다 만자 옛난자 드니 가서 난거 찍으시라 드니 결혼 그 세쪽라 드니 골목까지까지래 결혼 그 세쪽라 골목까지까지래 이제 왕차 용근소 왕차 men근소라 드니 그 드니 공 런공 드니 잡거리지 니 마시라.
And if this kind of normalization of the powerful imposing value or definitions of value onto the lives of others continues, then one day we will reach a point where it's not just animals that we impose a life value on, but we start to do it in respect of other humans. So the powerful start defining the value of the powerless, different groups of people, different races start imposing values on each other, different ethnicities. This is what will happen one day if we continue in this direction.
Karti wangchata topshik te teni niligre sona teni nga chon zambalang ko thola yo pi mo wangcha yongkan mo topshik yongkan te so teni mo wangcha menkan da mo topshik menkan te so teni kyorang ka chechok ko ran thang de teni gormo chigre jene teni ta khorang ka rengkong gyabna te nilig tang damba teni jento ores.
And what would happen is that the powerful and influential in the world, their valuation of the lives of others, dealing out giving values to the other life forms, saying this life form is worth this much, that life form is worth that much. This kind of practice will become increasingly normal.
Jiti inna yang tini khorang la sanglo tangma perna nya chung chung, sha chung chung, tini mbu chung chung, tini zi inna khorang ka sanglo tangna tini te tsawani khelin, te tanglim shi tabka mari zi khorang la sanglo tangna.
However, as for the small bird or the fish or the insect, this imposed valuation of their life is something that they would never accept.
Te indi khorang ka sanglo tangna ngarang ka tsechok te rentang tsawani mepa ka tindi rentang janzi yin samni tindi sam ka yores.
From their point of view, they would think that my life is something that is unable to be valued. It's not able to be given a value, it's priceless.
Tindi indi nga tso tsechok la rentang yo tang me ka thoni shana nga tso zambalang ka simchin tsangma chikba rezi tsechok la rentang yo me ka thoni shana.
So in terms of the question of value, in fact, all beings in the world are exactly the same.
Njamnim rezi, tsangma njamnim rezi.
They are all equal.
Njamnim ma yin ba chikbo te nga tso wangcha re, wangcha njamnim ma rezi.
The only respect in which they or we are not equal is in terms of the amount of power we possess.
Njamnim ma yin ba chikbo te nga tso topshik rezi, topshik te njamnim ma re, wangcha ta topshik nika njamnim ma yin bi gyamsenji, tani nga tso tsechok jamba tso la nga tso tani rengkong gyabne, tani tandi shega yore.
So it's only on account of the disparity in influence and power among beings in the world that some have the capacity to impose a value of life onto others.
Tani di chani shena nga tso nangba ga tani shena nangba ga zena tani zambalang ka simchen tsangma tani gang yin na anja nga tso mi yin na anja tenzho yin na anja simchen tsangma di thoni shena tsangma njamnim yin song ga yores.
So from this perspective, the Buddhist teachings hold that all beings, whether it be humans or animals, are all equal.
Tani njamnim yin tsardi tani nga tso dong ka thola tani njamnim yin di tani nga tso tsechok tsangma ga pansang chiga chigla suso go tani mi ger ka nguni sanglo tana suso go rentang tsechok te rentang me pa yin samni tani samba te la tani nga tso zunjok she gong dugzi.
So given the fact that we are all equal, it is necessary that we respect the belief on the part of every single life form in the pricelessness of their own life.
Teni karti tela nga tso zunjok she mashina teni di teni ta te zi tarong yar gyachimbo nra ore sona teni nga tso maung bala nga tso soso rang thola teni mi nang la teni nyokta teli chimba zi teni tar nga yang mambol hebe ore maung ba na mambol heb kres.
But if we're not able to do this, if we're not able to respect the pricelessness with which other life forms regard their own lives, then we will increasingly encounter all kinds of trouble. In fact, we're already seeing all kinds of trouble in the world, and this will only grow more extreme in nature.
Tindi indi nga so zambalang ka jibdezi, zambalang jibdezi ni mi mambo ko siya kayori, mi mambo molum jab kayori, mi mambo ko tini rewa jab kayori. Rite te molum chikbo yung ko marezi, nga so leka lego ondogzi.
So in terms of happiness and peace in the world, this is something that everyone talks about, everyone prays for. However, this isn't something that's just going to come about through the strength of prayer. It's something that we actually need to work practically for.
Leka leyati tambo suso ranga toning gonzi go ondogzi, ngostum go ondogzi.
And this work needs to begin with ourselves.
Tani chikti nga so jan tundro go tone tani ngostum go ondogzi, shata nyata tani chungchung nyamchung ti so tone nga so ngostum go res.
And the place that we need to begin is with other animals, from very meek and humble life forms such as fish and birds, etc.
Tandi yensona nga so chechok ramnim te yabo ze tani shine tani nga so chechok sama chikchila phanchen tani tsinjok yabo shya tandi ze yongsona nga so sim ga nang ne te tanglen yabo she thsona tani nga so zambalang yenari nga so shusok yenari nga so chimchang yenari tani changma ramnim tandi ze yongres.
So if we're really able to cultivate a respect for all other life forms and are able to really internalize this at a personal level, then this will bring about changes at the level of the world, society, and family. Everyone will be able to be held in equality.
Tani nga so chimlu ko tone ramnim zeni sha ka yore pe hale ba yagbo res. Rete yinna yang nga so sim ko tone ramnim yagbo she matana tani chimlu ta dutur ko gonin ramnim yoate pe khabbo rendus.
So in terms of the law, everyone is held to be equal, and this is a very good thing. However, if we are actually not able to believe in and commit to equality at the level of our minds, then there will be a big conflict between the law and our own practice.
Tandi indi nga so namjin nga so chowa nang la tani nga so la tani gomchur chi goreze gomchur chi gareze nga so mi mangchi shu te tani hal lepa ga thone soso ger ka chorwa ti thola soso ko chorwa dewa tang soso ko chorwa dungmar tang tela hal lepa ga tani thongchin tani je ga yore rete yinang mi jamba ga chorwa tela nga so tornang chembo che ga mareze.
In terms of our everyday lives, we're accustomed to a particular kind of habit, and this habit is to care a great deal about our own feelings of happiness and our own feelings of suffering, but not to pay much attention to these in relation to others.
Tani nga so mi jang ga chorwa tela te nga so tenim thongchin shya dang tani tela torna je na tani ti topchi tani nga so chama so ger la yang tani tharji yabo yonggon dus.
However, if we are able to pay a bit more attention and to pay a bit more care to the situation and feelings of others, then this will also result in benefits for ourselves.
Tani ti jongdar she go reze nga so jongdar mapshi na tani nga so namgin nga so tani pakchang rawo te nga mani nga so so ger te pe karchimbo she mi jamba te te karchimbo ma she ba te nga so komshi tani chak sarson tani yena nga so tan ramnim yabo she go na nga so jongdar sem go toni jongdar she go ndus.
However, if we're going to change in this regard, it's important that we train ourselves. Our habit of cherishing ourselves and not caring about others is in actual fact a very deeply ingrained habit that we have developed. So in order to accustom ourselves to a new way of regarding beings, it's important that we train ourselves.
Tani perna nang chu rawo yena nang ba sa ji ba rawo tani yena tani khorang ga tani la da nje da so ni pa la tani yichi she ma re so rang mi rang sem dang tani mi rang lipo tani ni pa da mi rang chabar te mi rang sem te la jongdr she na ni pa pe chimbo yong re te la yichi che re.
So in terms of Buddhism, it doesn't place much belief in the power and efficacy of gods and ghosts. Rather, it places its emphasis or belief in the power of the human mind and human effort.
Tani jongdr she atela nga so thaba chimbo ucho na la jongdr she sim yores.
And in terms of this training, there are three key training methods in the Mahayana teachings.
This chikdela doesn't nyambazi gresitini ngarang la kanti yina jambayang tetang japore pena ngarang ga chechote rentang me patin dizin samna te khorang so yang tin sam gyore khorang so oteni ta kanti ngarang ga kanti samna te khorang so yang sam gyore chikpan japore nga chu ti thola khapri ji yo mare samni samlo tang ya tin di jong drshia chingdu tela doesn't nyambazi gyore.
So the first of these is called equality of self and other, and this involves us reflecting on the fact that just as we regard our life to be priceless or beyond value, so too do other beings. They think exactly in this way, and so there's no difference between us two in any respect. So this is the first training method, equality of self and other.
Tani dagshin nyambazaya te kangjiz la zegrezina tani perna nga cho tani shema ga shetang o tani nyima mambo la tani chime ba tani ga sacha la nga cho mo rnga nyam den rona tani mo jamba jipo te la khorang cho la chime ze tani ngarang la tani ch terch sherdam kang yore ze ngarang la ti yona ti kapsata nga cho dagshin nyamba ga tani jongder te she mena teni chi shertam kande ngarang kan thong sam gare ti korang chola mena ya tenge sanlo tang mare da ngarang ga thong gres.
So in relation to equality of self and other, we might imagine that 5 people find themselves stranded in the desert after a number of days, and that of these 5 people, only myself has a bottle of water to drink. If we hadn't trained ourselves in equality of self and other, then we would naturally think that the water, that I am thirsty and that I should drink the water. We wouldn't concern ourselves for the other 4 people.
Tani dagshin nyambazaya te kang rezina tani ta nge samlo tana ta ngarang la tani chi sherdam kang yore ti me jamba te chola mendu se ta ngarang ga tani thong jang na ta tondak mendu tani kang ti kang star nya ngarang chama ga thong nge khamba kang thong tani khorang ga kang thong nga chu chama ram nim shi ni thong sam ni tani sambi samlo te la dagshin nyambazaya gres.
So what would equality of self and other mean in this context? Well, it would involve us recognizing that here we are, I have water, the others don't, and yet we all share the same desire to drink water, so therefore I can take one mouthful and then share the rest of the water with the others.
Tani nistong ngap chi ga lola tani nga chon zambalang ga matang tani tongshir gubchila rojires gubchu koksum rekres tongshir gubchu koksum
93 more or less. So it's said in the year 2050 that the world population will reach 9.3 billion.
Reso yeah tani ta nga chon zambalang ga sakola ga thola yopi tani 思想的我说米杂chok ba te so changma ser domna e khorang ga mo gangja z ga tini kha so thup gare mo tongshir jachi tham ba kha so thup gare.
So if we were to bring together all of the food resources that are available to feed these people, then these resources would be able to feed 10 billion? 10 billion, yeah.
Yeah, tongshir jachi tham.
Oh, 8 billion, sorry.
Yeah. Tani ti kapsang nga so karti dagshin nyamba ga semde mena tani nga chon zambalang ga mo chama ga tani thongkhong go thola tani ta thapchu jejires.
And if at this time we haven't really adopted an approach of equality of self and other, then there will be very severe struggles over resources that break out among humanity.
Tani ti kapsang nga so tani tarta ga tani harjang hungun thong ga char ga laksar te so thamje bo tani nga chon rowa mi rla japshi ya yong go mare ti kapsang tani nga chon rowa mi rg makasha ya lokres.
And at this point in time, all of these extremely advanced technologies that we have will not be used in service of humankind, but will be used for its destruction.
tani dakshin nyamba ga tani semte tani nga cho ngama la tana lo tongchang ni da ngabya ga kongla nga cho dakshin nyamba ga semze ya te nangba ga pe kar chimbo lan jo koreze jeti ti kaps te yona yang hale ba yak bore da mena te di nang ga chimbo mareze tani tarta ina ngaran cho ta tarta ta lo nish lo sumchi ga jila tani dakshin nyamba ga semze ya te pe kar chimbo re te mena nga cho chotab me ban jo koreze.
So if we think about the importance of equality in self and other, this was something that was extremely important 2,500 years ago in the time of the Buddha. But we could say that even though it was very important then, in terms of its significance at the time, it might not have been such a major thing if it hadn't have been as popular as what it was. However, now where we are at this point in time, and particularly in the next 20 or 30 years, if we don't apply this approach, then it is quite possible we will not be able to survive.
Tani chabar da ngarang so tarta nga so roa mir ki tani tenrola tani leka lelu o wangcha dang tani topshik yona tele jamba jimsung ka ke margowa wangcha dang topshik yona tani nga so mi jamba ga chechok la nga so rengkong japchok chong rabo tani ga samlo te tani ti kaps tani da yong rezi ti kaps yona tani ti kaps tani samlo ta nga so mi ri ka thola yong re ti kaps tenro thola mare mi thola yong rezi.
And at that point in time, the practice that we have cultivated now, where the rich the powerful and influential use their power and influence to impose life value onto other life forms, this practice in another 20 or 30 years, or when the Earth's resources become scarce, will start to be used among humans themselves.
Tani ta tinji mayung was the she gona, tani also the Bokershia dang, tani Driston Ramandata, tani Tanga Yongoma, Yongo Yamare, Mutsu Simganani Jonder she gondus.
In order to avoid this coming about, in addition to launching various campaigns and making a loud noise, it's important that we train ourselves at the level of our own minds.
Tani jang acho tani dakshin nyamba ga tani samlo te karte mena pena kyamsang sig la samlo tang ba yena ti kyamsang sig bode pena mo khorang ga tani kyamsang sig nang la yong ken ga mo sig bode te khorang ga gang don do te je te me jamba te la dungur yong da ma yong da te cha ni samlo tang ga ma re ji kyamsang sig na la shuchok sig la samlo tang ba yena nga shuchok na la yong ken ga mi wang sha jan me tani domjur jan te so rang do pa kang yena te le tani mi nyam chung da mi kyo bo te so la te chorwa kan de yong ma yong dungur kan de yong ma yong te cha ni samlo tang ga ma re te kang re jina khorang wang cha yo na te khorang le ka kang le na le chok chong da bo wang cha te ni le gre ro yo re nga so.
If others, or if people don't understand the importance, or they don't view others as equal to themselves, then, and this idea that those with power can do whatever they like, if this idea becomes normalized, then we can imagine what the results would be at the level of an individual family. One person would do as they'd like, they wouldn't pay attention to anyone else, and it would cause all kinds of problems. If we think about this at the level of society, it would be just the same. The powerful would be doing what they wanted. They wouldn't care how it affected the meek and the poor. And it would essentially be a situation of the powerful and influential doing what they like, and this situation becoming normalized.
Tini ta oto nga cho dakshin nyamba ga tini semkam gu yongder shya tapshi tap dibu zeng tsangma long chu chegen.
So I'd like to introduce briefly actually how we engage in the practice of cultivating the equality of self and other.
Tini tin nam pesho tang chok go rezena pena nga cho ganti khawamba pine ka ta sachan den rawo ina tindi yuji mari pena America ga sharshong rawo tindi ga sacha jangmo yo sata tindi ga kabla nga cho gungkha tini sholola jo tini kyo na re tini lili na re tindi ga tini chamni ro de yong kan tindi zaje mesa kunji mesa tini pe jangmo changni dungur nyong yo den ken tindi ga semchen nga chon thongine kamna tini ndo sam go res.
So how we do this is we think of a place that is very cold in the middle of winter when it's snowing, and we think of an animal such as a dog or a stray cat or some other kind of stray animal that is without shelter and suffering in this extremely cold weather, and we bring to mind an image of this kind of animal.
양나 아주 뭐디니 강바 메사다 더니 점낭라 대사 메사 딘디가 뭐 교보 딘디도 수실로라 되는 수 뭐 딘디가 아주 무근 통이 값스 딘 삼고그레스.
Or alternatively, it could be a person who is homeless without anywhere to live, and when we see them with our own eyes, we reflect on their situation.
더니 간디 삼고그레스나 페다 더니 다 남시장 몬든지즈레 더니 자마자에 말에 더니 때 pe chamore tini tinji ga nala tini dabo jamkhin yo mare tinji ga tini che yanare tini lili yanare tini khorang nga yanna kandi re insare samne sam gore ngarang karti tini chende yanna kandi insare samne sam gore.
So in this situation where the suffering being is without house, is without food, and is without anyone to care for them, whether it be a dog or a cat or a person, what we need to think is, what would it be like if this person were me? What would it be like if this being were me in the same situation?
Yana korang nge apa yenna kandi insare ngaranga ama yenna kandi insare samne di choyna liliyna tani korang shorongla chamdenken go moyna kartingi apa terandani de korangla desame kyumme tani zayame tindishini tani di lamkhandela deona de lung tindi jabgundu khangbabgundu dinalayona nge kandi insare nge kandi samsari samne tani samgores.
Or alternatively, we can reflect on how we would feel if it were our own mother or our own father who is in this situation, without house, without food, without care, on the side of the road, in the middle of all the wind and snow. How would it be if this were our own mother or father?
Yana korang ni pu yinna kandi insare ngarang ko bomo te terang tini korang tini rosa mendu same ta zaya me tindi dungur tindi yonggoyona kandi insare nge chora kandi insare nyam samne tini samlo tanggo re.
Or we can think, how would it be if it were my own daughter or my own son who was in this situation with no place to live and no food and undergoing this kind of suffering? What would I feel if this were the case?
So in
terms of our practice, our training practice, this is the first step or the first stage. So in contemplating or in reflecting like this, whether it be a dog or a cat or another human being, we will arise a feeling of empathy. And from once we arouse this feeling of empathy, we then move on to the second stage of this practice.
Ravi tini ramnyum ke chazi ores tin ramnyum ke chade kana jena pela ngarang ka aba yenara ngarang yenare ngarang ko po yenare tini ngaso sama ngarang la tini dewa yongna samne tini samgo yore ngarang la tini zaji me pada kyonji me pe tini dungur te mena samne tini samgo yore khorang de yang te samgo yore mi kyo yang te samgo yore lili yang te samgo yore sha yang te samgo yore tini nya yang te samgo so sami te samgo yore ramnyum re teni ngaso ti tolan jamnyum yinna teni ngarang tasangarang wangcha de yore de yona teni ngarang ga teni jamnyum yinna yang teni nge jamnyum de la sinjok ma shini teni jamba tamchi bo teni dungmur yona nge de la samlo ma tang yana nge ti dungmur ngarang ga deski te yongwa ga chet jamba la dungmur ma botat teni jina nge tsawani njuk mundu samne te ngarang ga norwa re samne te norwa ding nguzun che go re.
So at this stage, we acknowledge that the being suffering is not our father, might not be our own son or daughter or mother, and it's not ourself either. However, the being undergoing suffering is nevertheless equal to us or any of our loved ones in fundamental ways. That is, primarily just like ourselves and just like our loved ones, this being who is currently suffering has no desire whatsoever to be without food, without house, or to be in this situation of suffering. So in terms of their desire for happiness and their lack of desire for suffering, they are exactly the same as us. They're exactly the same as our parents. And in fact, all beings are like this, regardless of whether they're fish or birds or other small forms of life form. So in reflecting like this, we generate a strong sense that for the sake of our own happiness, to harm other beings who are equal to us in their desire for happiness and their lack of desire for suffering, that this is in fact an extremely mistaken way of thinking and acting.
Tani nga tso njamnim yin sambaga samlo telab jongder samlo mambo tangna tani nga tso yin rangbo go mare tani nga tso tsama ta nga tso tsama njamnim re nga tso zambon tela yongken go tani mo tongshir donche tamba yin na ja te mayin bi tani chokchak mambo yore tsama nga tso tsama dewa thobi chet tsama baba jege yore dungmon mayong wa ge chet tani nga tso tsama baba jege yore te yona nga tso tsama jamnim re samba nga tso chechok ko tonin jamnim samba samlo te tang zapu yong re.
So by working on this practice for a period of time, it is possible for us to develop a very deep and profound recognition or understanding of the equality of all beings. That is, aside from the 7 billion humans that exist on the planet, there are also myriad other life forms who, just like ourselves, strive very hard for happiness and strive very hard to avoid suffering.
Tani te chawi jini tini nga tso komba jongder ko komba samba de pogo res.
And after we have completed this stage of the contemplation, we move on to the third stage.
Tini komba samba de kang resina ota nga tso saman ramnim inna oya tini ta nge ngarang chikbo te la samlo tang te jamba thamche pola samlo ma tang na tan recommend te na tani nga tso chishir tam kang de ta nge thong khorang cholan thong nga tso mo nga bo ti tan ramnim shinin thong sambi samlo ta tani ngone ngarang sim ga tang ni ti yung reze ota nga tso chishir tam kang ma to yo mare te nga tso ramnim shinin thong tani te zat sarvi jini ta nga tso kang de yen na te nga tso thapsi jamba yo na me ta go re ma to ba ngarang chikbo thong khorang cho shina shi te kang ri song na song samya ga samlo de non-chir yenpa shini, te koran sem ka tangni, ta nga tsun ramnyam shini tonggo, nga tsun chinda tsama ramnyam shi, sambi samlo de, di tangni yungres.
And at this third stage of the practice, we generate from the depths of our heart a very strong awareness of the equality of ourselves and others. So in terms of the example where 5 of us are in the desert with only 1 bottle of water, from the depths of our heart we generate an understanding that it is mistaken to only think of ourselves and not for others, not caring whether they live or die. We realize that it's necessary to share the water. Willingly we do this. After we finish the water, then together we'll come up with another method for addressing our next round of concerns. So at the third stage, our sense of equality between self and other becomes deep and profound.
Teni nga tso tsangma tenti ga mi jan la samlo tang ya, nga tso par tenti mi jan la samlo tang na, teni mi jan ba tso nga tso sar tenti yang samlo tang gres.
When we get into the habit of thinking about others in this way, then they will also begin to regard us in the same way too.
Tini tinti yin song na nga tsun nyama shikla nga tsun zambalang la tini tongkong ko mandang wanda oda, yang na tini chik jia chimbo, tini kyab jia chimbo, rangshong ko tini rangshong kam ko njikpa tini shong song na yang, 옛날에 아주 미티니 샘거더니 니식디 찍찍라 땐 살디더니 랑숑 감고 노바당 직바티솔 야르탑 그래서
And if we're able to really make this strong, then even if in the future there becomes a situation where our resources are insufficient or there is an extremely large-scale natural disaster, that we will be able to transcend it.
Teni ta terang atso chachati nala njigdomna kangrezena njigdom jana nge tsakashi kanala sir njigdomna 세초고 ren탕제나 ren탕 잡트고 말해야지. 그런가 ren탕 가서 장가 잡아요 말해야지. 그때 내 대랑은 차트인 죽도면서.
So if I had to boil down the essence of my talk tonight, it would be that it is not possible to give a value to a human life. It's not possible to give it a numeric value.
대리 가서 그때니 세쪽 잠바가 세쪽라 가서 되니 런공 잡돼야 돼. 골모 지그리지니 런공 잡돼야 돼. 가서 노라래 때 가서 논처 치슈되래. 제가 땡긴 지금 지그레스.
And the other basic point of tonight's talk would also be that our practice of valuing others, other forms of life, or imposing valuations of their life is a grave mistake. In fact, our gravest mistake.
Teni ngarang la samlo tang bayenda di ton te la samlo tang ni teni ngerwa condition songse na teni ni tong chigu gubchu go ye klo yanchula ngarang karzi rang lu patini zmenz
这是对人家说。
karzi rang lu pas menz ngarang
是
ngarang nga
nam
ni tong chigu gubchu go ye yanchula
건다 개문한 다른 거 마소.
chigu gubchu go ye yanchula 1998年之前 那等你改革让了把是门子
Oh yeah, let's say. Before 1998, I wasn't a vegetarian.
야, 근데 니통 저거 급저 고고 로라 때니 나랑 까르제랑 봐 착래지.
직동 급자 급주고 그러봐.
그래 급저 고고로.
I became a vegetarian in 1999.
다티 파트 나랑 까르제랑 봐인스.
And I have been vegetarian up until today.
때니 나랑 때 니통 탐바가 다와 집바가 세파니시 등근님버 때니 나랑 때니 쉬라가 나라서니 빠르망보게 봐인스.
론남
투자창.
르남.
니통 2010的10月27
닉동可能来
2000年
네, 데니 다와 같이.
다와 집바가 세파니시 든.
Oh yeah.
야.
Sorry, I'm not very good with numbers and dates. So in the year 2000, on the 27th of October, I went to an abattoir in eastern Tibet.
나랑 시간가 나라 손에 빠르잡나더니 락반다르니 바르사와니 잡sab고 면두스.
就是
빠르잡사 손에 또 투자장去拍照子 나랑 야 때 투자장 나라 손에 빠르잡이 갑스니 나랑 락반다르니 짝니 락반다르니 빠르잡sab고 면두스.
Okay, and when I went to the abattoir and I was holding my camera to take photos, I was unable to do so because I was so scared. My hands were shaking so much. However, I forced myself to take many photos, and I did document many photos on that day. And after this day, I visited 3 other abattoirs and also took many photos on these occasions. And based on what I saw visiting all these abattoirs, I wrote down what I saw and in the form of several articles. And I made made DVDs which contained visual footage of my visit to the abattoirs and disseminated them widely to advocate a vegetarian movement.
Teni ti lorji ti nala ngarang tamjin mangbo jong mangbo she yo yina tarang ngaso khompa yo maris.
And in relation to this particular history, there are many stories I could tell you, but I haven't got enough time today.
Teni ne rewa kangre yenzena ngaso sangma dagjin nyamba che go rezena te chan thumbore ngaso she go na khabo rezi yina yang ngaso jinni ji jinyang se teni mi jamba ga ta simjin jamba ga chorwala teni tornang she go nangsi.
So my hope is that even though really implementing or actualizing the equality of self and other is a very high goal or a very high demand, I would hope that everyone can pay attention and take seriously the life of others.
Teni nyamachila ngaso sim go nala tenti yapore sona teni ngaso chumzea ta dictorzea tenti menayang
And if one day we are able to cultivate our minds to a sufficiently high level in this regard, then it won't make a difference whether we have the law or not. Equality will be able to be manifested naturally. And then peace and happiness will naturally come of effect in the world. And whether or not this comes about really rests on the shoulders of students in universities just like this.
Teni laksar hale pa chan thom bo te mambo lab teni shirg mambo lojong che yena shirg te so gandhi pesho tang goda laksar te so gandhi pesho tang goya ga ti semkham go thone samlo te yakboz ko da tra mathamna pe nyenka jem bores.
So at universities like this, we learn about and develop all kinds of advanced technology. We learn and develop all kinds of advanced knowledge. However, if in fact the people who control the use of this knowledge and the use of their technology, their minds are not healthy, then there are extreme risks.
Teni laksar ta shirk santhom bolo patang nyamde teni ngaso dagjin nyambandao teni ga samlo thone ngaso shirk tang laksar ta ganga thola pepsho tang chok ganga thola pepsho tang macho o teni ga loso tongya te pe karchim bore ngaso samgan de teni shipa ngaso rewa haliba chimbo janga yores.
So in addition to researching and developing new advanced technology and other advanced forms of knowledge, it is my hope that students at universities such as this also engage in discussion and reflection on what are the appropriate ways to use or implement or deploy this technology and knowledge, and what are the inappropriate areas that this technology and knowledge is deployed in. It is my hope that in addition to simply learning about technology and knowledge, that we also have this kind of ethical discussion too. So that's the end of my talk tonight. Thank you very much to everyone.